Good Saturday afternoon, everyone. I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist Rochelle J. We do have a tornado warning in place for parts of Hartford as well as Tolland counties, and this will go until 4:15 this afternoon. We've got an area of showers and storms that's moving in from the north and from the north and west. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in place for Hartford and Tolland counties, and then another severe thunderstorm warning for some areas of northern Tolland and Windham counties. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at what's going on as far as this tornado warning goes. So again, tornado warning right now in place for areas of Hartford and Tolland counties. This goes until 4:15 this afternoon. Radar indicated, I was driving into the station here in West Hartford, which is included in this tornado warning, and I could see some of those clouds kind of dropping just a bit. And I was on the phone with Chief Meteorologist Ryan Hanrahan just within the last 10 or so minutes, and he was saying that this system was rotated. So we've got a radar indicated tornado warning that's in place until 4:15 this afternoon. Includes Glastonbury, the city of Hartford, Newington, West Hartford, and we're also talking about the potential for hail up to about an inch in diameter. So these storms, they're moving at about 20 miles an hour to the southeast. So let's go ahead and pull up the radar once again to show you what's going on here. So I've paused it so you can see these are moving down to the south and east. So let's zoom into that tornado warned area again for Hartford and Tolland counties, mostly Hartford County, central and southern areas of Hartford County. So it's this system right here that we're watching right along 84. And all those little white flashes that you're seeing, that's where the radar is also indicating that we have lightning. And it seems like as this system moves to the south and east, we've got another severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued, but our main concern right now is going to be this tornado warning. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the data, or actually let's track this very quickly if we could as it moves down to the south and east. So we're going to put a track on this, bring it down for the next hour or so. Let's bring it down into that next severe thunderstorm warning. So if you're in Rocky Hill, 344, Terramuggis, 403, Marlboro, 405, and they did postpone the travelers that's happening right now in some areas of Hartford County. Northwest Chester 421 and 428 for Colchester. So this is for the area that is tornado warned, bringing it down into the area of that new severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued within the last 45 seconds. So we've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings that we're watching, as well as this tornado warning that goes until 4:15 this afternoon. So let's take it back. Let's take a look at something else within this. I actually want to zoom in just a little bit more. Actually, want to reset this. There we go. And I want to zoom in, if we could, just a bit more. Let's go to the box zoom here. Click on the box zoom. There we go. And let's zoom into this tornado warned area once again, just to get a few more spots. So it is including some areas of New Britain, but for the most part, this is moving down to the south and east. So along Route 2, we can also see what looks like might be a pretty decent hail core with that as well, moving almost right along Route 2 at this point. So let's take a look at rotation. Let's see. Let's go to rotation. Here we go. So we do have some of those bright greens showing up, but not so much the bright reds. Let me zoom in just a little bit more so we can get a little bit more detail on what we're seeing as far as the radar goes. So we do have some reds here, pretty close to some bright greens, but usually we would look for bright reds very close to bright greens. So we don't have those bright reds, which indicate the winds moving away from the radar site in Massachusetts. But we do have the bright greens indicating those winds moving toward the radar site in Massachusetts. So you do see Glastonbury, Newington, Rocky Hill, areas in those towns along Route 2, 5, Route 3, 160, and along 91, all included in this tornado warning that will go for the next 35 minutes. So they did update this. You might have seen that just a second ago. They kind of chopped off the back edge of this. So let's take it back out. Let's actually click on that just to show you kind of what's going on here. So they did take out some of that northwestern part of the tornado warning because the storm has moved out of that area, but it's continuing to move to the south and east. We also do have, let's see if we can clear that out the way so you can see as far as the lightning strikes go. Another thing that I was hearing as I was driving in not too long ago was the lightning strikes. Doesn't look like it wants to clear out for me though. There we go. I'll clear it out. There we go. Number of strikes, 51 positive strikes, 12 negative strikes, and we're looking at the last 15 minutes. So we've had 50 lightning strikes being detected by our system within the last 15 minutes as we've gone through the last 15 minutes. So again, we do have tornado warning right now for Hartford and Tolland County. If you're just joining us, that goes until 4:15 p.m. But I want to look at some of the severe thunderstorm warnings, namely the one that was just issued not too long ago. Within the last couple of minutes, we had this new severe thunderstorm warning here. So let's get some information on that if we can. There we go. Go to warning, and then let's click on this one. This was the new one, an extension almost, it looks like, from that tornado warning. And with the information coming out of this one, tornado possible. So we're looking at elongating where that area of rotation is that we had moving over West Hartford and moving to the south and east. So tornado possible with this severe thunderstorm warning that also goes until 4:15 this afternoon. Radar indicated we could also be talking about wind speeds up to 60 miles an hour. And for a severe thunderstorm, that would have to qualify with winds of 57 or more miles an hour. So that's where we're watching for this severe thunderstorm warning. Nothing currently happening there, but let's go ahead and reset. Let's take a look at the state as a whole and go back to the radar image versus looking at the warnings separately. So here's a look at the reflectivity. So here's what's happening across the state right now. We have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings in place right now, as well as that tornado warning. We have this area of showers and storms that's pushing down to the south and the southeast. We've got some heavy rain embedded with that. We also have the potential for some stronger winds and maybe even some hail as well. So I want to talk about the severe thunderstorm warnings, and we'll go back to the tornado warning in just a second. After we go through it and get some information on these other warnings that are currently in place. So again, we've got heavy rain scattered across the state right now, but we also have multiple warnings currently in place. So this severe thunderstorm warning that's in place for Hartford and Tolland County, it does overlap with that tornado warning that's also in place. So we've got multiple alerts out there right now that go until 4:15 this afternoon. So a severe thunderstorm warning for the potential for hail up to 1 inch in diameter or the size of a quarter coin. We also have the wind speed threat up to 60 miles an hour with this severe thunderstorm warning as well. So we have another one that's in place right now for northern Tolland and Windham counties. Tornado possible with that storm as well, as this also goes until 4:15. So all the warnings we have across Connecticut right now go until 4:15 this afternoon. And for this one in northern Tolland and Windham counties, we also have that threat for wind speeds up to 60 miles per hour. So let's clear this off. Let's take you back to the radar, and we're going to loop it so you can see how these storms are moving across the state. So again, we've got 3 severe thunderstorm warnings and a tornado warning currently in place. All of them go for the next 30 minutes until 4:15 this afternoon. So this was supposed to play. I'm not exactly sure why it's not, but let's see if we can play that out. There we go. So moving in from the north and the west, you can see this line kind of filling in as it moves over areas of Litchfield County. We also do have some heavy rain there, but the area that we're really concerned with is going to be where we have seen this rotation, where we've seen some of those clouds lowering around the West Hartford area heading toward Newington right now within that tornado warned area. So I want to zoom in once again to the tornado warning. Again, goes until 4:15 this afternoon. We also have that possibility for some hail within that storm as well. So let's go ahead, zoom in just a bit more. Again, we're looking at Rocky Hill, Newington area. Does look like it's moved out of West Hartford and out of the city of Hartford as well. So we're starting to probably we might get that area taken out of the tornado warning, but you see this polygon right here, as I'm drawing with my fingers, we still have a severe thunderstorm warning that does include some of the areas that were already taken out of the tornado warning. But again, that severe thunderstorm warning also goes until 4:15 this afternoon. You can see we've got in these last couple of frames some bright purples, so we've got the potential for not only rotation with this storm that's moving down to the south, but we also have the possibility of also seeing some hail out there as well with this storm that is now, or the core of the storm, which is south of Manchester, heading toward areas like Glastonbury. So let's take a look at what's going on as far as the hail markers with this specific storm. So you do see, let's zoom in just a bit so we can get a few more maybe street names, maybe some neighborhoods. So Glastonbury, that's exactly where I was talking about, right along Route 2. We've got 3 here, the bridge that crosses the Connecticut River. We do have that hail core centered right there over the town of Glastonbury. And remember, this is moving south, so heads up if you're down towards Rocky Hill. Maybe hail, not so much of an issue over toward Newington, but maybe some smaller hail in town there. But for the most part, the hail core where we could see some of the largest hail with this system is over Glastonbury and moving down to the south. So let's go ahead and check out the spin, see if there's still rotation with this and what that's looking like. And we'll look at some other markers as well. So it doesn't look like there's too much as far as rotation goes. We still have some bright greens, so that's indicating the potential for some strong winds there. But I'm not seeing a lot of reds nearby. We do have this area of red nearby, but that's not super impressive. We look for the bright reds and the bright greens close together. We call that a couplet, and that shows you where we have that rotation. But it doesn't appear that we have that much going on, but we have some other things that we can look at as well. So I want to look at something that's called the correlation coefficient. So that would show us where, if we did have a tornado on the ground, where something is being thrown up into the atmosphere. This shows us where something is a different size than the things around it, which at this point would be raindrops. So maybe if we had like a twig or something like that, or a piece of a tree being thrown up into the air, it would show up. But it doesn't look like we really have that. We have this one area. We look for the blues and the greens. We have this one area of blue here, but other than that, it's not really showing too much, which is good news. We don't want a tornado on the ground on your Saturday afternoon or any day, really. But so that is definitely some good news. We'll keep an eye on that as we head through the rest of this tornado warning. Let's also take a look at this, see if we can see anything with that rotation tracker. Not picking up on that much. It is picking up on something south of Glastonbury, maybe into some areas of Rocky Hill right now along 17. But other than that, rotation tracker is only picking up on weak rotation. And remember, the other two things that we looked at, the winds, how the winds are moving within the storm, as well as that correlation coefficient showing if something's a different size than the things around it, not showing too much there. So this is good news, but we do have some weak rotation that is still happening within this system. So we're going to look at something else. So we've checked the winds, we've checked that we have heavy rain, we've looked at the hail marker. So let's also take a look at, let's look at this actually, wind speeds relative to how the storm is moving. Also not showing too much right now. We've still got these greens showing up, and then we've got this area of red in decent proximity to each other, but not very tight. So we don't have a tight rotation happening, but we do have maybe some stronger winds happening. So the difference between this wind velocity graphic and the one that I showed you a little bit earlier, this is showing how the winds are moving relative to how the storm itself is moving. So if the storm is moving south and east, we look at how the storm is, we take out that storm motion, and this is how the winds are moving within it. So we still have the strong winds out there right now. And one thing I want to show you, let's zoom back out. So again, we have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings out there right now. They all go until 4:15, as well as the tornado warning for Hartford and a small portion of southern Tolland County until 4:15 as well. Let's take you back to actually, let's look at the lightning mark. We've got a lot of thunder out there, and we also had some pretty big time thunder yesterday evening as well. On your Friday evening, we had lots of thunder happening. Pretty scary. I don't know about you, but I caught that one thunder rumble right before 5 p.m. yesterday. Definitely was a strong one near the Hartford area. So let's see if we can get the lightning to work. Doesn't look like it wants to work. So let's reset here as we're heading into 4:50. So we've still got 25 minutes left on this tornado warned storm, but we also have 20 minutes left on the other storms that are out there as well. We've got a new update for that severe thunderstorm warning in Hartford County. They're taking off the back edge of this, but there's still some storm activity happening through northern areas of Hartford County, heading down into southern areas of Hartford County. And if you just saw that, we do now have a new flash flood warning that was issued for some of those same overlapping areas in Hartford County. Let's see if it includes any areas of Tolland County. So here's a look at that flash flood warning overlapping with the tornado warning, overlapping with a severe thunderstorm warning in Hartford County. So let's get some information on this. Let's see how long this is going to last, because we do still have a pretty decent amount of rain still happening out there in parts of north central Connecticut. So the flash flood warning includes East Hartford, West Hartford, Manchester, and the city of Hartford as well. Does look like parts of Bloomfield and Windsor, South Windsor are included in that. So that's this green outline that you're seeing here. It's not filled in with green, but that's what we're looking at right now. So this goes until 7 o'clock this evening, and it looks like they've also updated that tornado warning, replacing it maybe with a severe thunderstorm warning, but we still have part of that in place for the tornado warning. But again, we're talking about flash flooding is going to be a threat once again in Hartford County for this evening. So we've got a couple of hours where we have this risk for flash flooding in parts of Hartford County, again, including East Hartford, City of Hartford, Manchester, Windsor, Bloomfield. You're included in this, as well as South Windsor and West Hartford. So let's take a look at this update to the tornado warning for Hartford and Tolland counties. Let's see if we can click on that just to show you. So we do still have a pretty decent amount of heavy rain coming down in some parts of Glastonbury and Rocky Hill. We have this tornado warning that's kind of been chopped up just a bit, but it goes until 4:15. So let's go ahead and clear this out. Let's see if we can get that box out of here maybe, so we can kind of get a better look as to some of these areas that we're seeing. All right, doesn't look like it wants to do that, but let's take a look. Let's zoom in here. I think we're going to try and put a track on the heaviest of the rain, as well as that hail core that we were watching in some portions of Glastonbury. So this is moving to the south and east at about 20 miles an hour. So we're going to take a look at where this could be moving as we go through the next 30 or so minutes. Let's see how far it lets us go to the south and east. Let's take this down just a bit. All right, so the next 15 minutes, we've got Terramuggus and Marlborough as we head toward and slightly past the top of the 4 o'clock hour. So we have a small area that we're watching right now for this tornado warning. Does still include Glastonbury, Rocky Hill, south of Hebron, maybe some southern areas of Hebron included in that as well. But we have a tornado warning, multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, as well as a flash flood warning that is currently in place for Connecticut, mostly central and northern areas of the state right now. So if you're back off to the west, you've got some heavy rain moving through Litchfield County, but some of the stronger storms right now are looking into central and then northeastern Connecticut. It's a bit of a mess out there right now. We've got plenty of lightning that's coming down for parts of the state as well. So this is what we're watching as we go through the next 20 or so minutes with the severe thunderstorm warnings and the tornado warning that are currently in place. Let's go ahead, put this back on a loop so we can see how these storms are moving. Again, we do have heavy rain coming down in central areas of Litchfield County, as well as Hartford County, Tolland County, and northern zones of Windham County. We haven't seen the heavy rain move in just yet, but it's on that back doorstep as it's moving across 84. And Tolland County going to be moving into northern areas of Windham County here pretty soon. So again, we've got this one storm out ahead of the line. That's what's producing that tornado warned storm. Had a little bit of rotation. Some of those clouds were lowering as we were heading toward about 3:30 when that warning was issued, around the 3:30 time frame. And we've still got 20 minutes on all of these severe warnings and tornado warnings. But that flash flood warning, where you're seeing that green here in Hartford County, that goes until 7 o'clock this evening. So let's see if we can get some of the lightning strikes just to show you. Even though we don't have severe warnings across this line, we do still have lightning that's showing up. So it doesn't look like that wants to pop up, but we do have the lightning that is happening along with this line of showers and storms. So let's see if we can get a track on this just to show you where some of this heavy rain is moving as we go through the next little bit here. So I want to take you through areas of Windham, Hartford County, and Tolland County down to the south and east. See if we can get that going through the next about hour or so, just to get some cities and towns in here. So we've got Putnam around 4:30. Some of this heavy rain. Stores 4:15. That's when these warnings will end, and we've got some of that heavy rain already moving through Manchester with this storm out ahead of it. But I'm timing out this line that's moving farther down to the south and east. So lots going on here as we're heading toward the top of the 4 p.m. hour, keeping an eye on showers and storms out there right now.